Today is the official start to the holiday season. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another day of Vlogmas, and welcome back to the first day of December. I know it didn't seem like that because my intro just said November 30th, but I will always just be a day behind. I try not to film the videos the day of that I'm putting them up, at least if I can help it. And so because I like to pre-film, it'll always just be a day behind. But the day that you guys are seeing this is Wednesday, December 1st. And that is like, to me, the real official kickoff to the holidays. That's when you start opening your advent calendars, and it's your true countdown to Christmas and all the good stuff. We started doing our bucket list, and we started reading a Christmas book every night. We'll start tonight, so all the fun stuff starts today. So what I decided to do is I wanted to kind of start December off by doing a photo dump of November, if that makes any sense. I did not take many what's for dinner clips at all in the month of November. Like, I don't even know what happened because we really don't eat out. I cook every night, and so I just don't know how I never snapped a picture of my plate. But I only have 9 meals to share with you. That's very rare for me. Generally, I have a lot more, but I was like photo dumping, and I was really surprised that that is all that I had. But I wanted to kind of do a clean slate because I want the next time that you guys to see a what's for dinner. I'm not going to share one now until January. And the next time you guys see one, I want it to be of all the goods of December, because I plan on having a lot of fun with our meals this month, and we have like a lot of things going on. It's Mason's birthday, and we're getting together with Vanessa, and it's Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and like there's just so much stuff that goes on this month and things that we are planning that there'll be so many awesome meals that I get a chance to share with you guys. So I'm excited about that. So I kind of wanted to just get all of what I had out and over with, because our next video is going to be like all the fun holiday foods. So I'm going to roll you into some footage. I know not everybody likes my style of what's for dinners, but it just works for me. So I have 9 beautiful taken pictures of my dinner plate, and I'm going to voice over what we had for dinner, where you can get the recipe to. One of the recipes that I'm sharing with you guys, it was a new one, and it was so delicious that I'm going to put the Pinterest link in the description box for you, but I am going to go back and do a whole video on it because it was so amazing. So I can't wait for you guys to see that. But needless to say, I'm going to share with you 9 delicious meals that I had that I wanted to share with you guys. All right, don't laugh at me. I absolutely couldn't take the odd number of clips that I had to share. So I filmed the intro already and said there was 9, but I have 10. Because like I said, I couldn't take the odd number. And I realized I never shared with you guys in a what's for dinner this clip, which is a picture of my stew with a nice piece of that sourdough crusty bread from Costco with a little bit of butter on it. But this is my mom's stew. This is the recipe that she taught me how to make when I was a kid, and I just shared this video a couple of weeks back. There was like a big collab where a bunch of us shared like warm comfort food from childhood, and I knew that I had to share my mom's beef stew recipe. She does it in a red sauce, which is a little unorthodox, but it is so delicious. It's definitely more of an Italian style way of making this stew, but it is so good. So I will link up above the video where I shared the entire recipe, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. But it is super delicious, and if you like yourself some stew, especially during this time of year coming up in the cooler weather, this is definitely a recipe for you guys to try out. So another recipe that you absolutely have to try out, I've had this recipe in my arsenal for a very, very long time. This recipe is in my very first cookbook that I wrote with Vanessa over at Lemonade Mom and Nicole Burgess. This is my chicken Marsala. I do have an entire cooking video for this as well, but this, you guys, is super easy to make. The key is just having the right Marsala wine. I get the sweet Marsala wine from Trader Joe's. It's like $7 and it lasts me 4 meals, and I don't make this often, so it lasts me a really long time. And like I said, it's so easy, but it's so flavorful, and it's definitely a switch on a normal pasta night, because on this night I made corkscrew pasta that I just buttered a little bit, and then we served the nice pieces of prosciutto with the mushrooms and the gravy and the chicken over the pasta, and it was so, so good. You don't even need anything else on the side because it is perfect just the way it is. But definitely a recipe, if you have not made it before, that you take my advice and try mine. Now, here's that recipe that I was so excited to share with you guys. I know it doesn't look like much in this photo, but this is the one that I'll link in the description box, since I got this recipe right off of Pinterest. But it is so good that I'm going to film an entire video on it, because I kind of spruce it up a little bit. Well, I usually do anyways. But you guys, this is called garlic bread chicken, and you make a casserole. There was a ton of veggies in here, like peas and mushrooms and a whole bunch of things that I didn't think my family would. Mason ate every vegetable in here. Usually he'll pick it out or he'll toss it off to the side. He ate every one. Even afterwards, I said, Bud, you know how many vegetables you ate? He's like, yeah, I know. I saw him in there, but it was just so good. There was not one left over. I don't know if that's ever happened. Like, there was not one scrap of this meal left over, not one. So stay tuned. I'm going to do like a Pinterest recipe video again. I like to share those since I get a lot of my recipes off of Pinterest, but I'm going to share that garlic bread chicken. I just made a deviled egg pasta salad that was phenomenal on the side of burgers one night, so I'm going to share that as well. But stay tuned, because that is coming during Vlogmas, and it's one you will not want to miss. This meal I actually shared within a vlog. This was an every plate meal that I just made on a busy night while I was vlogging. It was like not part of a sponsored video. It was just me making the food. And this is one of my favorites. This is a pork burger, which to me is just so different, because when we think burgers, we think beef, right? And to try a pork burger, I don't know if I've ever had one anywhere else. I feel like Every Plate was the first people to like introduce that to me, and it is delicious. I mean, you just season ground pork and do it just like you would a beef burger, but it is so different. And this is a stuffed version, so you stuff it with cheese. You do like a thin patty, you put a sprinkle of cheese, another thin patty on top, and then you make like a jammy kind of onion that you stick on top. Like, you put onions and you just stew them down until it makes this like jammy consistency. So good. And then you put that on top. So delicious. And then you guys, look at those potato wedges. Like, I've never learned how to make potato wedges as good as I have being taught by Every Plate. Like, this is not a sponsored video. You guys just know when they sponsor me, I let you know. This is not it. I just love them. Like, I always have a link to share down below for you guys, because they are my favorite food service and their food is so, so good. But all right, that's enough about Every Plate. On to the next. And this, you guys, is not mine, but like I said, I didn't take a whole lot of pictures during this month, but this is one of them. And this is a delicious 12-ounce ribeye with fries cooked and salted to perfection. I had also had a salad, and this was a meal that we had from Longhorn's Steakhouse when we picked up Vanessa and Mark. We went to Georgia for Madison's wedding, and when we picked them up, we were dying to eat something, and we wanted to go to like a nice restaurant. We don't get to do that often with friends, and so we chose Longhorns. And oh my goodness, you guys, look how juicy that steak looks. Like they put like a garlic butter on top, and it was so, so good. And like I said, the fries were perfect. I had it with a margarita. This was a fantabulous dinner. Best part of that one was that I didn't have to cook it. Am I right? Right, because this is my Thanksgiving Day plate, which I did have to cook. And yes, you guys, I prepared every single thing that was on that plate. So I'm all about dark meat. So I already taken a nice bite to see how juicy it was. It was a wonderfully juicy turkey. It came out great. Nice crispy skin, which I absolutely love. I made some green bean casserole, a little sweet potato casserole. Of course, we had gravy and mashed potatoes, my famous sausage stuffing, which is by far officially just made my best video ever. It just went over 52,000 views during this season because everybody loves that video, that recipe. So I will link that. I did carrots with pearl onions in a bechamel sauce. I did my homemade cranberry sauce, which is actually shared in my new cookbook, the holiday themed cookbook that I put out just with Vanessa. Both of them are listed in the description box below. And I also made broccoli and cheese, and this meal was so good, you guys, and we ate it for days and days and days, and I am not sorry for it because I love a good Thanksgiving dinner. I vlogged that whole thing. If you guys want to see it, I'll link that for the video for you guys as well. But Thanksgiving is definitely one of my favorites. I spend all day in the kitchen, but it is good food that I will never turn down. I mean, just by looking at me, you know I'm not turning that down, right? Okay, but this, you guys, is what you do when you want to recreate something delicious with what you have. And this is a hot open sandwich on garlic bread with that leftover turkey. So after like 2 or 3 days of eating it, my family just doesn't want it anymore. But I hate to throw away the leftovers. We still had, as you can see, some mashed potatoes, and I had a little bit of the green bean casserole left. But I took that everything bread that I get from Walmart, and I used that garlic, Chef Chamois garlic butter, and I made garlic bread. And then I sauteed all the rest of that turkey in a frying pan with the leftover gravy, and I ladled it over the garlic bread, and then I put cheese on top, and I melted it in the oven on broil, and it was ooey and gooey and delicious. And nobody knew that they were eating the same thing that they had been eating for 4 or 5 days. And it was, I actually think it was better that way than it was just fresh and hot off the bone, because that was dynamite, and we will do that again, hands down. This is something else we'll do hands down again. You guys, this is those, like, what are they called? It's the country fried steak, and it's the Fixinit, Fixinit brand that we get from Sam's. It comes with that white peppered sawmill gravy right in there, and you stick them in the oven at 400 degrees, and you cook them for 10 minutes, and then you flip them over for another 5, and you make the gravy on the stove while you're cooking it, and it's fantastic. We made the au gratin potatoes that we just had from a box, but they were so good, and the cheesy buttery sauce over that broccoli, OMG, you guys, that was probably one of the best, like, southern home style comfort food meals we had had all month. Hands down, one of the best. Everybody loved it. Everybody was not a huge fan of this, but Mom was. So these were the steaks that I got from Sam's, and I had leftover blue cheese from making blue cheese dressing, and wow, you guys. I know for some of you might not like blue cheese, like that looks good in blue, right? It is so good on a darn steak. Like I did it in a cast iron skillet, so it started to melt, and it just creates such an amazing flavor on that steak that we cooked on the grill. It was so yummy. That is the Parmesan orzo that I talk about all the time. We're actually having it again tonight with pork chops because it is just one of those things that we just absolutely love. And then I had a bag salad. That's the everything but the bagel salad. So I mean, to me, this is almost like birthday style meal, like a nice steak with Parmesan orzo and salad. Like this was a great meal. My younger kids like steak. Jake made me put his in a quesadilla, but I'll take steak any way that I can get it. All right, we have reached our very last clip, and this is what we had for dinner last night for Taco Tuesday, but I made steak quesadillas. Actually, that was the same package from the clip before, and that clip was from last week. Had enough steak in that package, and I said I can get 2 meals out of it. So we had steaks one night, and then the leftovers I cut up and sauteed last night, and we all had steak quesadillas with a little bit of like tortilla chips on the side, and I had some lettuce and sour cream and tomatoes and green onions, and it was so yummy, like a restaurant style, so good. Like, we just cook it right in the pan, and then we air fry it if you want that extra crisp. So delicious, you guys. Cannot beat a nice, easy quesadilla for Taco Tuesday. All right, you guys, so that was it for our December 1st video, our photo dump of my what's for dinners. Again, I know this is not everybody's favorite, but I hope that you still stuck around for me to get a chance to share with you guys what I prepare in my kitchen, or if I go out and eat dinner with friends, I even capture a picture of that plate too. So I hope you guys enjoyed either way, and if you did, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, because I am posting a video every single day for the rest of the month, and then usually I post a little bit into January consecutively, just because there's so much, like, we're still filming from New Year's Eve and all of that, and so usually there's a bunch of residual things that you'll see quickly into January. So tons of content still coming up, and again, I hope you guys enjoy what I do get a chance to share. I love you so much. Happy hump day, and I will see you guys for another video tomorrow. Good night, guys.